Jet on the Valley's Best Rock, 105.1 The Blaze. Let's talk some movies.
The movie industry is made up of two separate but equally important groups. The theaters who display the movies and the critics who overvalue their opinions. These are our reviews. The Morning Blaze is bringing justice to the movies.
Welcome back, sir.
Yo.
Big thanks to our friends at Maya Cinemas, our sponsor for Bring Justice to the Movies. As soon as we get back to normal, we'll be back to sending you to the theater where you get VIP seats, popcorn, sodas, and you get to check out a movie with Justice, a new movie, and then you come back on and review it. But because we've been doing the home edition, we thought we'd do something a little bit different this week. We each watch different movies this week, and we'll help you decide which one of them you should watch. Now, you had me watch a movie called Whiplash, which I hadn't really heard of. I had seen some clips. Once I watched the movie, I was a little bit more familiar with what it was. And I had you watch Stargate from 1994, which I was a fan of in 1994, but I haven't seen, I think, probably since like 97. So I don't know if that movie held up at all. We'll find out. I will go ahead and start because I feel like mine will be fairly quick, and then we'll get into Stargate. Whiplash is a more recent movie. I'm awful with actors' names, so I'm not even going to bother with the names of the people. But the main guy that plays the music teacher, you'll recognize. He's a pretty big actor. He played J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man movies.
Yep.
He's also done a bunch of Law and Order episodes. He was the therapist in Law and Order, which is what I remember him from. But he plays a grade A-hole throughout the course of this movie. And what it's really about, it's about this kid who's determined to be one of the world's greatest drummers. He's a jazz drummer, he's a jazz musician, he's young, he's a 19-year-old kid, and he gets accepted to this very prestigious college where all the best musicians go, and his dream is to not just be good, but to be great.
Yeah.
And I thought the movie was okay, but the whole kind of premise here is that you have this overbearing, abusive instructor who just says the most vile things to his students, right? And then as the movie progresses, if you're on his team here, if there's a way to do that, his whole method is he's trying to use being mean to these people as a way to push them beyond their limits so they can break through that wall and be great, because he's one of these people. And there's a lot of coaches that I know that are kind of like this, so it kind of felt familiar a little bit.
Yeah.
He's of the impression that to get greatness, you have to continuously push people to go further and further than they think they can. And telling them ever at any point in time that they have done something good is detrimental to that. So all he does is tell them they suck over and over and over. And if you can live through that and you can push through that, it will make you great. That's the way he thinks this will all work out. He does some really, really awful things.
Yeah.
And it at the end of the movie, I didn't think had the payoff that I wanted. The more I thought about it, I guess maybe they come to an understanding at the end of the movie, the way it kind of ends. But it's good. It's really heavy, though. And with everything going on in the world right now, I don't know if this is the movie that I would suggest you watch this weekend, because it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's well done. You believe everything that's happening, but a little heavy. A little heavier than Stargate, for example, which might be better. Justice, tell me what you thought of Stargate.
Much heavier than Stargate. So Stargate basically is they find some old Egyptian tablets, and then with those tablets is also a giant metal ring. And that happens in 1928, and then in 1994 is when they finally are able to kind of decipher most of the stuff, except for one thing that James Spader figures out and activates the Stargate.
Yeah, he does.
Which was that was super cool the way he figured that out. Like, just because it starts with him walking in and looking at something that somebody deciphered, and he's like, "Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. This sign means this." And the guy's like standing right in front of him, which is hilarious. And like Spader pulls off the whole awkward genius thing,
Right?
Very well. Kurt Russell plays.
He's the military guy.
Yeah,
he's the hard ass of the movie.
Military guy. Yeah. And just the way the two of them work together, and then so it was good.
You liked it?
I liked it.
Okay, did it hold up special effects wise, or did it look like a show from the Sci-Fi Channel?
It looked kind of rough.
Oh, no.
Special effects were a little rough. I really want one of the like eagle helmets that Raw's guys had, because those look freaking tight.
See, this was the coolest part of the movie to me, as I remember it. They really try to explain away why all the Egyptian gods look the way they look. This is kind of the way these aliens portrayed themselves. This was their technology, and the things that they had and the helmets they used all represented these different animals, and that's why they look that way.
Yeah, that's why the Egyptians wrote what they wrote on the walls and stuff like that, because this guy visited them and basically created civilization for
Sci-fi
everybody.
action movie, special effects don't really hold up, but did the story entertain?
The story entertained.
I will take that as a win.
Okay.
All right, so if you had to pick between the two movies, Whiplash or Stargate, you've seen them both. Which one would you watch this weekend again?
For me personally, Whiplash.
You are a dark individual.
I enjoy storytelling. All right?
Stargate,
Stargate
bro.
was good, though. It
Stargate.
was very good.
All right.
One thing. If you knew you were going to go somewhere and you're like, I can get us back, why don't you tell them the rest of the story where it's like, we have to go find this stuff first, but I can get us back? That was a dick move.
Well, this is how super genius scientists operate, man. They just want to see if the thing works. They'll figure it out as they go.
And just assume, oh, yeah, the directions are probably right next to the thing on the other side.
Except they're totally not. All right. Well, Justus, thanks for sitting through Stargate this weekend. I thought Whiplash was good, but too heavy. If you're looking for a fun movie, I would say go with Justus's movie.
You want something light, check out
weekend.
Stargate.
If you got a movie you want us to watch, Tuesday we'll give you a chance to tell us what we should watch. Big thanks to our friends at Maya Cinemas. Can't wait to get back to the theater, Justus. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
The movie industry is made up of two separate but equally important groups. The theaters who display the movies and the critics who overvalue their opinions. These are our reviews.